Kale's coronation as the supreme vegetable of contemporary wellness culture was completed somewhere around 2012, when kale chips arrived in airport shops and restaurants began offering kale salads as a statement of nutritional seriousness. The U.S. kale market reached $130 million. Celebrities wore kale merchandise. The vegetable graduated from salad bar garnish, where it had spent decades in ignominy, to cultural signifier of health-conscious eating. Whether kale actually deserves the nutritional throne it has occupied, or whether it is the beneficiary of marketing timing and photogenic texture, is a question that registered dietitians tend to answer with diplomatic honesty. The nutritional profile of kale is genuinely impressive by any objective standard. A cup of raw kale provides 684% of the daily value for vitamin K, approximately 206% for vitamin A from beta-carotene, 134% for vitamin C, and meaningful calcium, manganese, and B6, all for approximately 33 calories. By nutrient density calculations that measure micronutrient content relative to caloric load, kale consistently ranks near the top of any vegetable comparison. The sulforaphane and other glucosinolates it contains, similar to broccoli and other cruciferous vegetables, have documented cancer protective mechanisms in laboratory research. And epidemiological studies on cruciferous vegetable consumption support the association, even if direct causation from kale specifically is difficult to establish. The more interesting question is not whether kale is nutritious, it clearly is, but whether it is meaningfully more nutritious than the less fashionable greens that preceded it. Collard greens, which are inexpensive, widely available, and deeply embedded in Southern American food culture, contain comparable or superior calcium content to kale with lower oxalate interference. Bok choy offers excellent vitamin C and is considerably more bioavailable in its calcium contribution. Swiss chard provides a similar micronutrient density. Watercress outperforms kale on several nutrient density indices. The dietitians who track these comparisons note that kale's superiority over other leafy greens is largely a marketing construct. What matters is eating some dark leafy greens regularly. And which variety you choose matters considerably less than whether you actually eat them. The oxalate and goitrogen concerns that circulate around kale require proportionate handling. Kale's oxalate content is moderate, lower than spinach, and the suggestion that it meaningfully reduces calcium absorption or poses kidney stone risk at ordinary consumption levels is overstated for most people. The goitrogen concern, which involves compounds that can interfere with thyroid iodine uptake, is relevant only at very high levels of raw cruciferous vegetable consumption in people with existing hypothyroidism and low iodine status. Cooking significantly reduces goitrogen content, and for the vast majority of people eating a reasonable variety diet, kale poses no thyroid risk whatsoever. Kale's pesticide burden is a genuinely valid concern. It appears consistently on the Environmental Working Group's Dirty Dozen list for high pesticide residue in conventional produce, making organic kale or thorough washing of conventional leaves a reasonable practical priority. The water and carbon footprint of year-round kale production shipped from California and Arizona deserves consideration alongside the nutritional case, particularly for consumers in regions with abundant local seasonal alternatives that travel dramatically shorter distances.